Hi, friends. Kat Kabir here, and greetings from Australia. Question. When you feel fat, what's really going on? When you feel fat, what's really going on? Now, quick background if you know nothing about me. The reason why I got into energetic work as a way to heal from trauma, eating disorders, empower you in your life is because I suffered for a very long time with anorexia and bulimia and binge eating. So I personally know that feeling when it's like, oh my God, I feel so fat. And, also acknowledging the level of marketing and manipulation done by the global diet industry to make sure that any woman is convinced that somehow there's really something wrong with her, that somehow whatever her body type is, it's wrong, it's bad, it's not enough, it's too much. And also acknowledging it's almost like a way to fit in. Like I remember when I was 9 or 10 years old, it's sad, but I remember all the girls were all like, "Oh my God, I'm so fat," and all of us were not even close, right? So when you feel fat, what's really going on? The way through for healing from an eating disorder or where you feel very dominated by either your worth is your body or just dominated around food, whether you're restricting or binging or both, is to also question, do you consider yourself sensitive? And I don't mean sensitive like you can cry easily. What I mean by sensitive, and you might not know this about yourself, but do you feel a lot? Is your experience of sensations a lot? Is it more than other people? That would be more highly sensitive. There's a refined awareness of textures, of temperature, of feelings, of tastes, of smells, of sounds. That there's a more multidimensional richness or a depth in how you experience the world. And I know for myself, I didn't know that other people didn't feel at the level that I felt. Classic fairy tale is the princess and the pea, right? So there's a lot of princesses out there where it's like you lay on that mattress and it's like, oh, I had a great sleep. I didn't feel anything. And then, the highly sensitives, it's like, oh my God, it just felt like there were rocks and boulders and sharp stuff underneath. It was the most uncomfortable sleep in my life. And you compared like the princess and the pea, the one that was like, that was so uncomfortable, and then trying to kind of validate by, well, the rest of the princesses like thought it was fine. There must be something wrong with me. So part of my work is helping you put a place for a context for your sensitivity and how to work with it, in a way that empowers you. So digressing as usual, but let's get back to when you're feeling fat, what's really going on. So I'll just speak personally. Oftentimes, it's not that I'm actually bigger, or even if I'm bigger, it's not the way it feels is much bigger than it actually is. So oftentimes, when I'm feeling fat, I'm feeling stressed. I have unprocessed emotions that I'm not letting myself feel, whether that's sadness or anger. And what's fascinating, and I learned this through, decades of teaching and practicing yoga, how much emotion we store in our body, right? That we don't really know how to process. Rage, joy, sadness, okay? So there might be some unprocessed feelings that you're feeling, stress. Other one can be, and this is where it like gets kind of cool, is other people's energy, other people's stuff. And I'm not going to like go into a deep dive around the whole energetic world. Come train with me if you want to know about it. But especially I've noticed with people who are prone to eating disorders, or even just that you self-soothe through food, or you've got something going on with food. Usually you struggle with boundaries in some way. And that's also going to be true if you're more empathic and also if you're really sensitive. What's your relationship with boundaries? So oftentimes what you're feeling is true. There's so much in you that's not you. There's so much that suddenly is just there. And it's actually other people's stuff. And, and it can be their emotions, it can be their thoughts, it can be their astral energy. There's a lot of possibilities, but that somehow you don't have the boundaries that you would need to be able to filter out and discern what to take in and what not to take in. And it's easy to remedy, but it's also really important to recognize, because you're going to be going down the wrong track if you're like, oh, I feel fat. That means I need to exercise more or diet or, be mean to myself or something, and it's bad enough that even women without eating disorders still think there's something wrong if their body's not a certain way. It's such an old BS story. But again, the real truth is that you're taking stuff on that's not yours, that you wouldn't want to be taking on. So that's the question I have for you, to really self-reflect, that whether it's something that you're just noticing that's uncomfortable or actually gives you real anxiety. When you're feeling fat, what's really going on? Is it some emotion that you're not letting yourself process? Is it stress? Amazing how just rest helps your system decompress. Oh my gosh, rest helps your system decompress, like doing nothing. Oh, so important. And are you taking on other people's energy? And of course, we can geek out together about energy and boundaries. So you can come train with me privately. I also always have some fantastic programs going on of how to manage your energy body, how to work with other people with energy, and also even how to heal from your eating disorder if you have one through energy work. Have a brilliant day and sending you lots of love. Bye.